masters.
Long press.
It was found that swans can see the colour red quite easily, so these red markers were put on both sides of the bridge to help them with their navigation. We're about to pass two small green footbridges on our left. These are the upper and lower barge Windsor bridges, and as their name suggests, they were originally built to facilitate the pulling of horse-drawn barges. They cross the 2 points at which the Cook and Weir stream emerges onto the main river. This intriguing stretch of water can be seen by taking one of our 30-minute explorer trips, which depart from the tea gardens near Jacob's Island. Operating in fair weather during the peak season, the low-level 12-seat open boat is able to negotiate the low trees and bridges, whilst skimming over the shallow riverbed, affording a unique view of wildlife, the untrodden overgrown banks. This boat also passes the small lifeboat. We'd really like to hear what you thought of your trip today, so please fill in the comments card provided and hand it to a member of discontinued in 1885. We're passing Bath's Island to our left now, so called because in the days before Windsor had a purpose-built swimming pool, the channel behind the island would have been closed to boats during the summer months, providing the people of Windsor with a safe outdoor swimming area. However, in 1870, Queen Victoria disapproved of the sight of bathers from the railway and had them moved to the downstream end of the island. In 1904, the area by the railway was used again, but this time with men downstream in the eastern baths and ladies upstream in the western baths. To our left now is the Windsor Leisure Centre, being the current incarnation of Windsor's swimming facility. The centre stands on the site of the once famous Ricky Tick Club of the 1960s. The Ricky Tick was a well-known live music venue in its day. It started its life at the Hart and Garter Hotel opposite Windsor Castle in 1962, before moving to a semi-derelict mansion on this site called Clewer Meads in 1964. Many of today's big names, such as The Who, the Rolling Stones and Eric Clapton, made some of their early appearances here. Indeed, it is documented that the Rolling Stones played at the Ricky Tick Club at least 39 times between 1962 and 4. It was at this venue that the then unheard of Jimi Hendrix made his UK debut. Sometimes we are lucky enough to pass boats on the river that have interesting histories, in particular those which took part in Operation Dynamo in 1940. These are the Dunkirk little ships. Operation Dynamo was a 9-day operation where around 1/3 troops were safely brought back from Dunkirk on the coast of northern France. The operation was planned by Vice Admiral Ramsay, who sent out an appeal to owners of private vessels and small commercial craft who could get their vessels close to the beach. 850 such boats were hastily assembled, of which around 150 are still in existence. They can be identified usually by a small brass plaque on the wheelhouse inscribed Dunkirk 1940. They may sometimes also fly the flag of the Association of Dunkirk Little Ships, which is the cross of St George with the crest of Dunkirk in the middle. On our left now now is White Lilies Island, having been sold by the owners of Clwyd Boatyard for development in 1957 for £7,000. The total value of the island and houses is now reckoned to be worth over £20 million. Residents of some of the newer houses on the island have included actress and singer Natalie Imbruglia and Zinzan Brooke, a New Zealand international rugby player.
अच्छा वैसे टर्न होके जाएगी
around Clwyd Point, which forms one of the sharpest bends on this bit of the river. For this reason, there is a heavy iron post set into the ground near the end of the point. It's called a strapping post or a turning post, and goes back to strong barges. As the barges approach Clwyd Point, the tow rope would be taken off the horse and a few turns made around the post. This would allow the barge to swing safely around the point under its own momentum in a pendulum-like motion. Had they not done this, the barge would have tended to carry on in a straight line towards the opposite bank, quite probably pulling the unfortunate horse in behind it.
That's really nice. Yeah. We've got to travel about an hour to Villa. Most weeks are good. Like some of the most weeks are Thursday, Friday, and then next week then actually most people. Alright. I think it's about an hour. Yes, so it's when you're going to the last week to get there.
Are they all arriving at the good answer?
Yeah, but like if you get there like later, you're able to go earlier afternoon. Get there and get over that. So yeah, it should be fun though.
सारा टेबल नहीं
So
गिरते
you're actually now outside Budapest then?
Yeah, because the opposite place where
Is it like a town?
yeah, it's got holiday. It's a tourist place where
Rowing is a popular activity at Eton, the boys choosing either that or cricket as their summer sport. Those choosing cricket are known as dry bobs, whilst the rowers are called wet bobs. We're now proceeding upstream on the River Thames, which takes us in a roughly westerly direction. This would lead eventually to Oxford and beyond, although to reach Oxford by river from here would take somewhere in the region of 2 days. This is largely due to the 23 locks between here and the middle of Oxford, each one taking roughly half an hour to negotiate on a busy day. There's a speed limit on the Upper Thames of a little under 5 miles an hour, and also the river takes a very winding meandering course, so all in all it's not the place to be if you're in too much of a hurry. To our left is Jacob's Island, formerly called Corporation Island. It was renamed after a well-known local councillor and a boat builder called Arthur Jacobs. It was here that some of the largest wooden boats, almost twice the length of this boat, were built in the now dismantled and long-forgotten boathouses and slipways of the Jacobs Yard. As we head up past Brockus Meadows to our right, some of the Eton College buildings become visible, as do the spires of Eton College Chapel, which is built in an almost identical style to St George's Chapel in Windsor Castle, known as the Perpendicular Gothic style of architecture. Eton College was founded in 1440 by King Henry VI, originally naming it the King's College of Our Lady of Eton beside Windsor. Incidentally, the college own all the land on our right from here and beyond our turning point. They're in fact the second largest landowner in the country after the Crown, owning land in nearly every county. Brockus Meadows were named after Lord Brockus, one of the founding members of Eton College, who donated the land to the people of Eton. Through the trees to our left shortly, you will see a full-size replica of a Hawker Hurricane fighter plane. This is a memorial to its designers, Sidney Cam, a former Windsor resident whose house stands a few hundred yards beyond. This plane bears the markings of one flown in the Battle of Britain by Squadron Leader John Gandy, who was Constable and Governor of Windsor Castle from 1978 to 1988. Sir Sidney Cam was a pupil of Royal Free School in Windsor. During this time he designed model aircraft which he sold to the boys of Eton College. Whilst the Hurricane was his best known aircraft, Cam also designed the Hunter in 1951, which in 1953 went on to break the world speed record of 727 miles per hour. Cam's final design was the Harrier, which remained in RAF service for 50 years until 2010, and it is still flown by the US Marines as the AV-8B. Ahead of us is the Windsor Railway Bridge, being one of several across the Thames designed by Isambard Kingdom Brunel, the famous Victorian engineer. The bridge was built in 1849 for Queen Victoria, and it brings the Great Western Railway network right up to the front of Windsor Castle. The design of this bridge was unique in its day, as were many of Brunel's designs. This one because the 187-foot central span is not secured to the sides, but rests under its own weight on 6 bearings, allowing for expansion and contraction of the ironworks during temperature changes. This type of span is known as a bowstring arch,